Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrutyam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayamudire Nasthaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttamasloke Bhaktir-bhavati naistige Mukam karoti vachalam Pangum langayati girim yatkrupatam vande Shri Gurun Dinatarinam Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Welcome to the Bhagavata Purana session in English, Canto 11, Chapter 3, verse number 1. Name of the chapter: Liberation from the illusory energy. Shri Rajo Vacha Parasya Vishnu Isasya Mayinam Apimohinim Mayam Veditum Ichamo Bhagavanto Bruvantunaha. Translation forward by Bhaktivinoda Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. King Nimi said, now we wish to learn about the illusory potency of the Supreme Personality of God, Shri Vishnu, which bewilders even great mystics. My lords, please speak to us about this subject. So here in this text, King Nimi said to one of the Navayogendras called Antariksha, so to explain about the illusory energy of the Lord. So as we discussed in our earlier session that the illusionary energy is the material world, which is governed, administered, supervisioned by the Durga Devi, and she is recruited by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And there are three prime energies like internal energy, external energy, and marginal energy. Internal energy is Srimati Radharani, where in other words she is called a Yogamaya also. So Yogamaya becomes, when she enters the material world, she becomes Mahamaya. So yeah, the marginal energy is the 84 lakhs of living entities. The living entities, if he or she engages in pure devotion service or bhakti yoga, buddhi yoga, and then certainly if she attains, if one tries to attain Krishna Prem, the love of Godhead, then there is easy accessible to engage in the internal energy of Lord. Otherwise, if one wants to be a owner, one wants to be the Lord, whatever the things he survey in this material world, or otherwise he wants to enjoy, or he wants to be Bhokta, rather than giving enjoyment to his eternal father Guru and Krishna, then definitely it's understood from the vision of Vedas that a jiva has to suffer in this material world by the stringent rules and strict rules and regulations of Maya, illusory energy. So if at all once one wants to get liberated from the illusion energy, one has to take the shelter of the Lord. That's what we have discussed earlier about the first verse. And the second verse, Nanutru Nanutrupye Joshan Yusmad Vacho Harikatamrutam Samsara Tapa Nistapto Martyastatapa Beshajam. Synonyms: Na anutrupye, I am not at satiated. Joshan, engaging. Yusmat, your. Vacha, in the words. Harikatha, of the topics of Supreme Lord. Hari, Amrutam, the nectar. Samsara, of material existence. Tapa, by the misery. Nistaptaha, tormented. Martya, Martyaha, a mortal human. Tatapa, of the pain. Peshajam, the medical treatment. Translation purport given by Bhakti Srila Prabhupada. Although I am drinking the nectar of your statements about the glories of the Supreme Personality of God, my thirst is not yet satiated. Such nectarian description of the Lord and His devotees are the actual medicines of conditioned souls like me who are tormented by the threefold miseries of material existence. According to Srila Sridhar Goswami, one may argue that since the symptoms of a pure devotee of the Lord have already been elaborately described, one can perfect his life by advancing to the platform mentioned in the previous verse, and there is no need for further questions. But Harikatamrutam topics about the Lord and His devotee are so pleasing and beautiful that one cannot give up hearing them even after spiritual liberation. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this connection has quoted the following verse. Atma Ramascha Munayo Nirgranta api urukrame kurvanti ahitu kim bhaktim ittam bhuta guno hari. Those who are self-satisfied and unattracted by external material desires and are also attracted to the loving service of Krishna. Those qualities are transcendental and whose activities are wonderful. Hari, the personality of God, is called Krishna because he has such transcendental activities, attractive features. Material medicine is not desirable once the disease has been cured, but on the absolute platform, the means and the end are not different. So, chanting and hearing the words of the Lord Krishna are both means at the end of transcendental bliss. In the second verse, as we have discussed also about this, also that King Nimi expressing his heartfelt views about the satisfaction he has attained by hearing about the nectarian pastimes of Krishna. So he says here that my thirst has never satiated. Though you have kept on elaborating and explaining about the nectarian pastimes of the Lord, still my thirst has not quenched. So I would like to humbly request you to go on explaining about the nectarian pastimes of the Lord, which are not like a material medicine, which can only give a temporary cure for our material diseases. But this Krishna Katamrutam, which is Shravanam and Kirtanam, as Krishna says, Satatam Kirtayanto Mam Drudavrata, he says, if you have very strong determination for chanting the holy names of the Lord or hearing Krishna Katamrutam, Krishna Kathas, then one can easily quench the thirst of spiritual in the spiritual platform. So, my dear sage, please don't put a stop or don't be reluctant to narrate the nectarian pastimes of Lord, so that that is the only means. There is the only means and end for curing this material disease. Bhava Aushada, Bhava Vyadi. it is called a material disease, can be elevated, can be nullified, can be burnt into ashes only by hearing the pastimes of Supreme Personality of Godhead. And also one can promote to the lowest mode of material nature to the topmost mode of platform, and also one can also promote from the lowest level of spiritual identity to material identity to the topmost elevated spiritual to the spiritual platform, to the topmost spiritual platform. Here Chaitanya Charitamrita also in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also in connection with this, he quoted the following verse. This verse says that those who are self-satisfied and unattracted by external material desires are also attracted to the loving service. Means service of Krishna means one who doesn't have any kinchana desires or laukika desire or material desire or mundane activities, one who is not attracted to this, but rather he is attracted to or is self-satisfied and attracted to the activities of Lord, who is also called Urukrama, who does all the heroic, the Herculean activities, as no other god or no other living entity can display or can do this sort of a Herculean activities. Only Lord can do this. Only Lord can display His sweet and nectarian pastimes. Because Lord's qualities are transcendental and very attractive. That is why it's called Krishna. Krishna's one of the name is all attractive. He attracts everyone. Text 3. Shri Antariksha Vacha Ebir Bhutani Bhutatma Mahabhutair Mahabhuja Sasarjaucha Avachani Adyaha Swa Matratma Prasiddhaye. Synonyms: Sri Antariksha Vacha, Sri Antariksha said, heavy by these Bhutani creatures, Bhutatma, the soul of all creation, Mahabhutai, by the elements of Mahatattva, Mahabhuja, O mighty armed king, Sasarja, he created Ucha Avachani, both high and low, Adya, the original person, Swa, of his own parts and parcels, Matra, the sense gratification, Atman, self-realization, Prasiddhaye, for facilitating. Sri Antariksha said, O mighty armed king, by activating the material elements, the primeval soul, translation purport given by Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada. Om Agnana Timirandasya Gnananjana Salaka Chakshurunitamena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Ram, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Ram. According to Sri Antariksha said, O mighty armed king, by activating the material elements, the primeval soul of all creation has sent forth all living beings in higher and lower species, so that these conditioned souls can cultivate either sense gratification or ultimate liberation, according to their desire. According to Sri Vishnu Chakravarti Thakura, the illusory energy is explained in this verse through a description of her potencies, namely the modes of material nature. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna has described Maya as Gunamayi, consisting of material modes of nature. The material modes of nature are alluded to in this verse by the word Uchavachani, high and low species of life. Various species of life become manifest, as do varieties of beauty, ugliness, strength, weakness, and other characteristics within a particular species, according to the proportionate development of modes of nature, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 13:22. Karanam guna sangasya sad asad yoni janmasu. This is due to the living being's association with material nature in good and evil species. Similarly, we find this statement. Jaganya guna vritista ado gachanti tamasa. Those situated in the mode of goodness gradually go upward to the higher planets. Those in the mode of passion live on the earthly planets, and those in the mode of ignorance go down to the hellish worlds. The three general divisions of material life are called Deva, Tiryak, and Nara, that is demigods, subhuman creatures, and human beings. In the various species of life, there are various facilities for material sense gratification. Different species are distinguished by different formed senses, such as genitals, nostrils, tongue, ears, and eyes. Pigeons for examining are given capacity for almost unlimited senses. Bears have an example capacity for sleeping. Tigers and lions exhibit capacity for fighting and meat eating. Horses are distinguished by the legs for swift running. Vultures and eagles have keen eyesight, and so on. So the human beings distinguished by his large brain. Thank God. So the phrase Swa Matratma Siddhiya is very significant in this verse. The word Swa indicates possession. All living beings belong to the Supreme Lord. The Mamaivans Jivo Loka Jiva Bhuta Sanadana. For according to the verse, they have two options, Matra Prasiddhaya and Atma Prasiddhaya. So in this verse, Sage Antariksha is answering the question asked by Nimi Maharaja that, O mighty armed king, by activating the material elements. See, here one should understand that, as I said, if the soul, if Jiva is awarded a particular body according to the different modes he has associated and different modes he has dwelled in his particular birth. Say suppose in material nature there are three modes of material nature: Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, and Tamoguna. If a person always dwelling in Sattva-guna, he gets the higher planetary systems ultimately, and if the Jiva dwells in Rajoguna, he will end up in the middle planetary systems, and in Rajoguna the Jiva will end up in the lower planetary systems. So that's the ultimate the plight of a Jiva. As said in Bhagavad Gita, Urdhvam Gachanti Sattvataha Sattvastha Madhye Tishtanti Rajasaha Jaganya Gunavritistha Ado Gachanti Tamasaha. Here the Mayi means Durga, Gunamayi, consisting of material modes of nature. The word here, Uchchavachani, means high and low species of life. As the Jiva engages in his particular mode, he may become ugly or he may become weak. He may enter into the different yonis of or various species of life and become manifest as do varieties: beautiful, ugly, strength, weakness, and other characteristics within the particular species, according to the proportionate development of the modes of nature. As I said, in which mode he influences a lot, according to that he will go to higher and lower species of life. as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 13:22, Karanam Gunasangasya Sad Asad Yoni Janma Su. This is due to the living beings' association with material nature in good and evil species. Like there are three general divisions of material life are called Deva, Tiryak and Nara. So these three divisions, the general divisions are demigods, subhumans and human beings. In the various species of life, there are various facilities for material sense gratification. So if Jiva wants to engage in material satisfaction and there are he can enjoy the satisfaction, the material satisfaction according to the particular body he has, according to the guna he has developed. Say example, your different species are distinguished by differently formed senses, such as genitals, nostrils, tongues, ears and eyes. That means different living entities and different birds, different animals, human beings are given different distinctions so that they can be specialized in that or they can be well versed in that. Say suppose pigeons are, it is only a material point of view. Pigeons are given unlimited strength to do sexual intercourse in that particular body. And tigers and lions are given unlimited strength to fight and eat and have meat eating. Horses are distinguished by the legs. They can run fast. They can become steadfast. And vultures and eagles are given the topmost vision. From the distance they can make out, they can figure out the dead bodies or other living beings. And human beings are given great brains to engage themselves in the Supreme Personality in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that's here Swa Mahatma Prasiddhaya means Swamatratma means here people who are engaged in sense gratification, and Prasiddhaya means people, jivas who engage in the spiritual platform or one who engages in the service of Krishna consciousness. That's the differentiation between Matra Spasastu, Matra Prasiddhaya and also Atma Prasiddhaya. So here in this particular verse also the Lord has given the intelligence, senses, mind and vital hair of the living entities for sense gratification. So the Lord has also given the living entities, the jivas, that the steps, the process given, one can also question that why Lord has given so many facilities and arrangements for having sense gratification. But here one should also understand that these process and facilities are given for the living entities or the jivas to gradually elevate or to gradually improve improve the platform from material platform to spiritual platform. And also there is a restrictions and regulations are also given, so one can regulate this artha kama so that they can one fine day they can understood and realize that the jivas can also realize and become self-realized, so that they should stop all this material, the matras and the senses, the gratifying the senses, and gradually they can come to the highest platform or the superior platform, because the body is given by the Lord only to realize himself and to get the knowledge of Atato Brahma Jignasa, so that the jivas can understood, and they can slowly, gradually elevate to the topmost spiritual platform, and one can also attain the love of Godhead, the Krishna Prem.